Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here, greetings boys, girls, and to all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day. Hokey smokes, indeed. Oh boy, I made a statement on Twitter last night about having to go out and write a check because I was out of money, but my kitty cat needed food, and somebody offered, and they actually sent me about $20, so I was able to buy kitty cat food, and that was really, really nice, incredibly awesome. Oh boy, there's been supply chain problems with the whole pandemic in the first place. And Shelton we've gotten a lot of snow. And now there are just empty shelves everywhere in the local Safeway when I went there last night. Hokey smokes. There is nothing on so many shelves. It is absolutely crazy. It wasn't even this bad when the pandemic first started. Thumbs up for that. And of course, to front load the video, hey, if you could do me a favor, interact with YouTube algorithms, maybe leave me a like, that would be awesome, very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already, that'd be cool. If you could leave me a comment, I definitely appreciate every one of those, and I do my best to at least answer as many as I can. That's a thumbs up. And hey, I would also like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people literally help to keep me alive. That is a good thing. I cannot work. I broke myself while working as the nurse's aide, and not being able to work, I can't really do much. My disability barely pays for my rent, and without these people here, I would be hosed. So thank you, each and every one of them. And hey, if you'd like to become a patron, I do have links in the show more video description. Thumbs up for that. And hey, now that the front loading of the video is over, thank you, YouTube. So yeah, I was able to buy some just random cans, because they also sell individual cans if you don't want to buy a whole box. And I bought a bunch of individual cans, so she's got food now to last, but of course it's more expensive that way, and I don't know what's going to happen. Oh boy. So it didn't really snow yesterday after it snowed last night. Well, no, the night prior. But oh boy, there is a lot of snow out there, and it was super slick when I went out walkies last night. I had to be so careful. It got up to just warm enough for things to melt a little bit and then froze again, so that was special. And then where the cars are all driving, that's been compacted into ice, so I was slipping and sliding everywhere, but I take this so carefully that yeah, I slid and slipped, but didn't fall, thank goodness. Hokey smokes. But yeah, I gotta keep going out when I can, both for exercise and I have next to nothing to eat myself in my cupboards downstairs, so I gotta go out and get food for me too. Yay! But hey, it happens. We're sort of forecasted to have more snow, and it's going to get almost warm enough for stuff to thaw today, so who knows what's going to happen. It's fun. Yay. It's really cold here too. My housemates are generally staying in their bedroom all the time now. When it gets colder, not all the time. They come downstairs when things warm up a bit, but it's really cold. Even with the heat on, everybody is wrapped in blankets and wearing jackets. So thumbs up for that. Me, I've got my window open and I'm out of outer shirts, I discovered, and I ruined another one last night accidentally. Dripped some liquid resin out of my pipe before I realized that it really needs to be cleaned, and it dripped and went onto the shirt, and that's thick oil-based stuff. It's a stain forever. So yay. Life is life though. Life is life. There's other things though. One of the things I just learned today about American history and spite and all. I was watching this one fellow, Bull of the Fifth Column. He's a guy in Florida. He's very, very left, and that's a good thing. But he was talking about how he'd gotten a email from a guy in Britain asking about all these ugly statues that they keep tearing down in the U.S. because, they tore down one of General Lee, fairly recently, and it was just one of the ugliest bloody things you will have ever seen in your life. But they tore it down, and he asked, gosh, I saw that and it was so great. Are there any other statues of traitors around the United States I should see? And then he told a story that does not have much historical accuracy to it. But Benedict Arnold in the United States was a major general, both as a major general in rank and a major general as in very decorated in Civil War times. But he felt that he was not getting the attention, the promotions that he needed. And so he shopped himself out and then went to the other side and then fought on their side. The story goes, well, of course, he fought for the U.S. At that point, he gotten injured several times in his left leg. And then the story goes that they captured somebody from, the U.S. side, and they'd asked him, he asked the fellow, what would you do with me if I had caught you? And they said, well, your leg has been injured, but, we would, give statues and medals to the leg, but hang the rest. And so, what are the odds that actually happened, and who would have been there to record it? But the thing is, there is a monument that is just it looks like a headstone, and it's of a leg. It's a left leg. There's no story about it or what it is, but it is a statue to Benedict Arnold's left leg, and it's a monument. And as Bo went and said, he could only aspire to levels of spite that high. So we've got other statues, partly of other traitors, but generally it's the U.S. South that really just puts all the U.S. traitors up on statues and wishes to go back to those times. So thumbs up for that. But of course, there is more. As stated, I went out walkies and it was cold and wet, and that was fun. And, well, not wet, but just cold and very, very cold. And that's fine. It's good. Southern Shelton, where I live. It's dangerous, though. Dangerous. Southern Shelton is all hills and mountains, and getting down is very, very hard. You gotta be so careful. Yay. Past that, though, it's just been life. I mean, I've been trying to survive in an area now where we're not only, locked down because of this whole pandemic thing, but now no one can go anywhere because it's the ice. Some people can, of course. There is traffic and they do plow a lot of streets, but yesterday it was pretty quiet in town. Oh boy. Life is life, though. Life is life. I've tried to take care of some things. I'm hoping to make some phone calls. And I talked about how there was internal bleeding from my fall. That did clear up, almost instantly. It was just from that fall. I still need to get checked out and find out what's going on inside of me that I would bleed like that from a fall. But yay. Past that, though, still just I'm existing. Not much is happening. I played some games. I did some things. I'm going to try and record some reaction videos today. I'm going to try. No guarantees. It is the last day of 2021, so thumbs up on that. 2022 tomorrow. Yay! So, of course, I want to spend some more time just talking about world building stuff, because I think about that stuff a lot, and I thought about this stuff this morning, and I just think about it and chew on it because I enjoy it, and hopefully I'm going to get this stuff done. I'm thinking maybe I'm starting to get the scope too big, because I want to do that day in the life of a year, but now I'm starting to think maybe I'm trying to get the focus too large. Because really, I mean, I want to have the cryptid stuff, and I want to have the non-cryptid stuff, and the inside, the outside, and talk about sight and all these adventures, and that's maybe a bit big for the scope of just a year in the life, a slice of life on the razor's edge. But one of the things I was mentioning, because I really like the idea of out here on the outside, there is a buildup of this extra universal energy, but it is of a different kind, and that is why we have the cryptids. So there is James Baker / Bakir, who goes by Bakir now because he's not human anymore, He became a cryptid. And his friend, Daffod, who came from the Razor's Edge, moved into the outside and has been traveling around. They at first have a discussion where it's yes. James is wondering, what should I do? I ate somebody. And that's terrifying. And he gets talked through it by Daff. It's like, well, it's survival, isn't it? Why did you do it? You ate them to live. You didn't eat them for other things. You did this. You're not human. It's survival. And gets talked through it. Bakir has these thoughts for a long time that Daff has to be a cryptid. And then finally they get it put together that Daff is in fact a cryptid. One of those that a transactional transgression type where if there are rules you have to follow, whether or not you know of them, and if you make a transgression, you are paid, punished for that transgression, whether you knew it was a transgression or not. Sometimes the transgression is something simple. You lose something that you're carrying, or you lose a memory, or you lose a part of your body, or you lose your life. And Daff is one of those, except he's such an easygoing fellow. When it's come down to the transactional you have to pay, it's always been, no, that's fine. You don't, just go. Just remember this for next time. And so when they finally figure out this all out, Bakir is pretty excited. He's like, hey, you've had all this. Let's go out. Why don't we just go out tonight and we'll find someone and you can murder them? Because after all, as that kind of cryptid, that is his nature to do so. And so there's the discussion of, well, Daff has talked to lots of other cryptids and they kill, and it is their nature. They are not human. It is their nature. It's not unethical or immoral. It is like being, in that point, a coyote or a wolf or a polar bear. It is their nature. But at the same time, Daff's nature is, he's easygoing. He doesn't want to do that sort of stuff. And so they're busy trying to figure it out with discussion and talk and wandering around and doing stuff, trying to chew through this. And it's like, Daff fully admits it is his nature. But it's also his nature, as stated, that he just likes people. He likes people and he likes being around people, and he doesn't want to do that. That's Daff's nature not to. And so that is a cryptid. That is his nature to not do that. One of the lucky ones. His programming as a cryptid, the type of cryptid he is very loose, and so he gets to choose to not follow the script without even knowing that's what he'd been doing. Doesn't help later on when, to save James Bakir's life, or just Bakir, he has to say, well, if you die, then I die too, and if I live, then you die, so just make it quick, make it painless, eat the body, and get out of here. And so, Bakir has to eat Daff to survive, because Daff doesn't want them both to die, and gets out of that situation. That's toward the end of the book, I feel. They have adventures together, because after all, even though Bakir is a nice fellow, likes people, likes being around people, still at one point during a conversation, well, first it isn't a conversation because Daff is just in their old abandoned mine shaft, just waiting. They live outside of town in an old abandoned mine shaft. Being cryptids, they're harder to kill after all. They can live kind of wherever they want. And they just start talking when Bakir comes home, and it's not until they're done when, Daff says, well, one of the reasons I do stay with you is it feels right, it feels safe. And Bakir has to laugh because during the entire conversation, feels right, feels safe. He dragged someone in kicking and screaming. And then as he and Daff were talking, proceeded to eat them, and at some point was just waving a disembodied leg as a pointer while munching on it until they're gone. And he has to laugh. Oh, it feels safe, does it? Daff, I just ate someone while we were talking. So that's the sort of relationship that ends up as. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I don't have 25 people. That is so much muscle memory. There are less than 15 people who leave comments, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you all. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, with my depression, fibro, and more. We have Maddie Green, a good idea. Haley Laura, thumbs up and thank you. Noah Geneve Brown, thumbs up and thank you very, very much, and I hope to continue helping. Ryan Mulqueen, greatly appreciated. I'll do what I can. Crispy Shapiro, thumbs up and I'll check it out. The Kekvin, thumbs up and thank you. We have Kim Dierickx, thumbs up and I'll do what I can. VPA, greatly appreciated. Kapaki, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you. We have EMB, oh, it's Shelton. And then there's J, thumbs up. TIAN, and then an M, thumbs up. Stromfish, I think. Thank you very, very much. Tall Dude, 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, the Pacific Northwest has been hammered this season. Flora Mew, thumbs up and thank you. Ben B, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. We have Platinum Mace, thumbs up, and that is it. 17 people who left me comments in the last 24 hours. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Definitely a thumbs up. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text, and it is appreciated to no end. And of course, I don't know what device you're watching this in. I don't know where the video description is, but inside I have links to all my various channels, if you could check those out, as well as links to my Twitter, my Facebook, my Patreon. And again, I would like to thank each and every one of these Patreon patrons, these beautiful and awesome people, as I stated, literally help to keep me alive. I would likely be homeless without these people's help, and without, well, I can't plug a sleep apnea machine into a sidewalk, so it is appreciated to each and every one of them. And if you'd like to become a patron yourself, I do have links down below, and that would be cool. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal where, you know, I'm not above grubbing for your spare cash. When you got next to nothing, anything helps, so that would be awesome. Also have an Amazon wishlist link. If you could check that out, that would be cool. But do not feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot or do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that'd be very cool. Well, holy smokes, I've got things I want to do. I got things I'm going to try and get done. I'm not too worried if they don't get done today. I'm feeling better, but still I am under the whole thumb of the season and depression, so yay. Still though, do your best to seek creativity, positivity, and balance during these very hard times. They aren't fun. You gotta do what you can. And when the covfefe bug's still raging with all the variants out there in the United States topping records for the number of people infected, please don't become one of them. If you don't have to go amongst others, don't. If you do, wear a mask, wash your hands, maintain your social distancing, try not to touch your face, get the bloody vax, get a booster if you can. Hokey smokes, we are never going to get through this if somebody doesn't start taking it seriously. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is, in my book, a very good thing.